Okay, talk about Lag Baomer, Pesach Sheni, Madura, bows and arrows, maybe even a little bit learning on Lag Baomer, which is not too popular. But just to go through the Indian relatively quick. As you know, this week, the week of Lag Baomer is the week of Haid. Question is, why does Pesach Sheni and Lag Baomer always come out during the week of Haid? Seemingly, Haid represents the most din. It's the lowest of the spheres before Yesod, which is a klalistic sphera, and Malchus, which is also a klalistic sphera. So it's the lowest one, which is most din. So why is these two Yomim Tovim Dafka coming out during this week of Haid? That's question A. Hopefully I'll answer all the questions. Question B is, why do we make a Madura on Lag Baomer? Question is, why do we make a keshes, like a bow? And Nacha question is, the fact that they were not noyeg covered, the Talmidei Rabbi Akiva, why was there necessarily a chi of misa? I mean, if I disrespect you, so it's Merchet Hesa, it's a chi of misa, right? So just to go through a little bit, I don't know if I'll finish everything, but as much as possible. So just to start off, in the 5th week of Sfiras HaOmer, which is the week of Haid, right? So it's Haid, Lag Baomer comes out, and Haid Sheba Haid. Why Dafka Haid Sheba Haid? Because Haid Sheba Haid is the most din. Lag Baomer represents the most Hamtokas Hadin. So therefore, because it represents the most Hamtokas Hadin, so you go all the way down to the lowest Madrega in order that you could go up to the highest Madrega. That represents Spitz Hamtokas Hadin. So, and we know that in spheres is Chamisha Chasadim and Chamisha Gvurais. So we, so to speak, take the Chamisha Gvurais and we turn them over to the Chamisha Chasadim. That's like a Hamtokas Hadin. So we have two things, Haid, Sheba Haid. So you have going from the Chamisha Gvurais, which is the Mises Talmidei Rabbi Akiva, over to the Chamisha Chasadim, where they stop dying. And Pesach Sheni is the only yontif that you find that you have a makeup. If you miss shaking lulav on Sukkot, you don't have Sukkot Sheni that you could go shake lulav, right? And you don't have Shavuos Sheni that you could stay up a whole night, right? It's the only time you have it is Pesach Sheni, Vasepis. It's coming to show you that there's a Hamtokas Hadin Dafka in that. That's an opportunity to make up like a tshuva for something that, why is the guy not eating carbon Pesach? Because whatever happened, he did some sort of Aveira that he became Tameh, right? It didn't happen random, nothing happens like that. So because of that, so he had an opportunity for makeup. Opportunity for makeup is Hamtokas Hadin, which is like a tshuva. So that's why Dafka, there had to be Pesach Sheni coming out the same week as Lag Baomer. They both represent Hamtokas Hadin. 1. 2, we know that it's Shleinagu covered Zebazeh. So they say the Taich, what does it mean, Shleinagu covered Zebazeh? First time I heard it, didn't strike me so good, but I see it inside, so now it strikes me better. That Shleinagu covered Zebazeh means that when they were learning together, nobody was moided to the other one. And the word Haidah comes from the word Haid. So the Pegeya in the Haid. You Pegeya in the Haid, Strat then is, what's the Haid? It's Haidah, right? And the word Haid both times represents din. How do you see that? Because you have the Hey of the Shem Havaya, which is din, whether it be in the Bina or in the Malchus, and you also have the Vav Dalid of the Haid, which is coming to tell you is the Miloi of the Yud. Miloi, as you know, is Gematria Elikim, represents din. So you see in Haid, the fact that they were not having covered Zelazeh was Pegiya in Haid. Pegiya in Haid is Midas Hadin, and ultimate din is Misa. And that's why Dafka, they had to die. That's okay. Another reason is, why do we have a keshes? So a few reasons. One is, what is a keshes made up of? A keshes is 3 colors, right? And the three colors that make up the keshes is really coming from chesed and rachamim. We find also one other place which represent, as you know, keshes represents bris, right? That Rebbeinu Shalom was ready to destroy the world and came what we call Hamtokas Hadin, right? And Rebbeinu Shalom was reminded that he made a promise he's not going to destroy the world, right? So Hamtokas Hadin. Keshes represents Hamtokas Hadin. Where do you see that also? By a ner. A ner has how many colors? Some say 4, some say 3, but also has colors. And ner is nefesh ruach, is coming together those colors. And also Neiros Shabbos represents a hashlama in the bayis. Why do you light candles? And Erev Shabbos is for shalom bayis, which represents hashlama in the bayis, right? Which is coming from that the husband has to prepare the candles and the wife lights the candles, is a shleimus that they're both doing it together. Right, so too, you have in the fire itself, you have coming together of different colors coming together as one represents a shleimus. As you know, also ner is gematria 6 shemas, havaya adnos, havaya eke, havaya leikim, which is gematria ner, coming together. Those three is representing a hamtokas hadin in ner, coming together as one. How do you see it's shleimus? Because the kavanah in simshalem avarachas hama Yisrael bashalom is in those 6 kavanas. If you look in Siddha Rashash, that's what it'll show you, all those kavanas coming together as one. Efshe would like to say, that's why we have a Madura also on Lag Baomer, showing you, just like the Keshes is 3, representing a bris, as a reminder, we make a Madura like a ner, like a big ner, many ners coming together, is showing you another Madrega in Hamtokas Hadin, that you have Yena Madura, which is all the colors coming together as one, representing a shleimus, as a Madura. Now the reason for the keshes, and this I saw in Ma'ariv Shemesh, she brings down, why a keshes? Because a keshes is a half a circle, and you know the hamtaka of the din of Lag Baomer, I guess everybody knows it by now, is Shema Charit, which just to spell it out a little bit, is Shem Elokim, with the 3 middle Isius, going back 1, which Chav Dalet Tes, which is Gematria Lamed Gimel, represents the Hantaka. The Aleph can't go back because it's number 1, and the Mem, which is the end of Mem, can't go back. You go back to the regular Mem, and then it goes back to because it's the end of a letter, right? So now the Keshes, half a Keshes is a Gal. A full circle is a Gal, right? So half a Keshes is Gal, is Isius Lag, Lamed Gimel, right? Now, if you take a full circle, the Rebbeinu Shalom created the world full circle. The earth is round, the moon is round, everything is round. Everything is round. It's all Golgalim, right? What happens in a circle? In the circle of the way the Bria is, you have 12 hours of light and 12 hours of dark, right? The Keshes is only half a circle. It's coming to show you it's only representing the 12 hours of light, not the 12 hours of dark. And therefore, Dafka Keshes, so it's only representing the Iris, because that represents Hamtokas Hadin. Moshe Ein Kain, the other 12 hours, which was night, as you know is Din, that we don't want to show. Ma'ariv Shemesh just says in the Chatzi Galgal, but I added in this, okay, Shkoyach. Okay, anyways, one other thing, that you know, when it says in the Pasuk Gal Eid, that Yaakov said, Vayikra Shem HaMakom Ehu Gal Eid, and Lavan decided to call it Yigasa Adusa. What's that? What did he accomplish by calling it Yigasa Adusa, and he called it Gal Eid? What was accomplished by that? So, Yaakov acknowledged that there was over here what we call Hamtokas Hadin, and that's why he called it full. The full name is Gal Eid, right? So, to show you, but Lavan, who could not be moide, that is such a great thing as Hamtokas Hadin, he couldn't call it Galei. So therefore he called it Yigarsa Adusa, like he's not fully moide. He had to, he saw Nisim, Giluyim, and everything else, and he was a big kisher from Achai, and he knew everything going on, but he still couldn't be moide. Therefore he couldn't call it Gal Eid. He had to call it Yigarsa Adusa, that he couldn't be moide to the whole thing.
This is a Gam Hope.
Okay, but it's for Lavan, so it's fine.
Then he should have died.
What? Okay, maybe he should have. But then again, he's the father of the Imai, so. Okay, in any event, so again, like I said earlier, Seder is full next week. If you come, Gavaldik, you get extra tzam mamsham takas hadin. And if you don't come, so at least you have to make a madura and shoot your keshes.